Handling discrepancies in discipline, one of everybody's favorite subjects. This is Billy Goldfeder answering some of your questions as part of the What's Your Problem series hosted by FireRescue1.com and Lexipol. And here's today's question. Can you address the issue of treating everybody the same with regards to infractions against policies and procedures? I remember Coach Jimmy Johnson saying, I treat everybody the same, differently, when he explained how he cut a rookie who fell asleep during a film session while I just nudged his star quarterback, Troy Aikman, to wake up. I know there are pitfalls in not treating everyone the same, but the reality is some members might have earned a break by how much they give themselves to the job. This is not to say that issues aren't to be addressed. They absolutely have to be addressed. But maybe how they're handled is different depending upon the member. That's a great question, because we all want to be treated the same when we don't want to be. And a member with 20 years on the job and a member with 1 year on the job are different. Now, what we want to avoid is your personal opinion about the person. So that's a real issue. If you don't like that sucker, but you love this sucker, no, you can't do that. You're going to be found out right away, especially if it goes to disciplinary hearings and things like that. So that's not what we're talking about today. Clearly, you've got to have one set of rules, policies, and procedures. However, an example is if it's your first offense, and let's just take, let me throw this out to you. So a lot of fire departments like using the red, yellow, and green policy identification system. What I mean by that is, any policy you violated that's red could cost somebody their life, blowing through a red light without stopping, something like that, okay? Extreme risk management, extreme safety issues, going into a building without your SCBA, things like that where you or others could get seriously hurt or killed. Those are red policies. Yellow policies are policies that, legal issues, okay? It could get your department jammed up. It may not hurt anybody, but if you violate this policy, it could be a big deal. And green policies are day-to-day stuff. Mow the grass on Tuesdays, things like that, okay? So that just kind of keep that mentality in mind for just a minute. Any member violating a red policy where it could end up in someone's in critical injury or death to yourselves or others pretty much have to be treated the same way, okay? But let's go to a yellow policy, and you tell a probie that you need the lawn mowed on Tuesday, and the probie doesn't do it, okay? That's a bigger deal to me than the 20-year member who doesn't do it because they got tied up on something else or they got busy. Now, let's say the probie got tied up on something else. They need to communicate that. So, and again, I'm going to sort of go in detail with this, so I hope you understand where I'm going with this, because I'm not advocating that everybody gets, based upon who you are, you get treated differently. What I'm advocating is, to answer your question, based upon your time and your time on the job and your experience, there should be and maybe discrepancies. Let's say you've got no time at all ever being late and you're late one day and you've got 10 years on the job. And a probie, okay, with 1 year on the job is late. I see that as two different things. You've been late once in 10 years. What happened? Oh, my car broke down, whatever, no problem. You're a probie, your car broke down, you better take a cab and Uber to get here. That's, to me, the difference. Now, again, remember, this show is based upon my opinion. You're going to do what you want. But I agree with the writer who wrote in here saying that I treat everybody the same differently. So where I'm going with this is if this is something that has to do with safety, it has to do with how you treat other people, if it has to do with harassment or bullying, I'm going to treat everybody the same. As a matter of fact, we're going to go after anybody that's going to be going after our own people when they're on duty or in quarters. Those are our responsibilities. But when it's not a safety issue, when it's not a treatment issue, when it's not violating federal or local law, I say that there is some discretion based upon the circumstances and the person. What you want to be very careful, though, of when you're making those kind of decisions is it's not because, you date that person, or this is your brother-in-law, or you guys are friends and you go fishing all the time. No wonder you didn't discipline that person. So as I said before, while there may be discretion from time to time, when it comes to the more serious stuff, you want to treat everybody the same. When it comes to what you would consider a minor infraction, I'd say that yes, it is appropriate to consider the time on the job, the history of discipline, history of problems to make your decision. Now, with that said, there's a big asterisk here. Check with your attorney, check with the Human Resource Department if you're not sure on how you're going to take care of somebody, how you're going to treat somebody, and how you're going to react from a behavioral standpoint. Because it can be jurisdiction to jurisdiction. You may have different policies. Different states may have different rules. And we all have to be aware what the federal laws are. So in general, treat everybody the same. However, there are from time to time situations based upon your time on the job and your history that you may not be treated as severely, as critically as someone with less time. It depends on the situation, depends on your policies and the advice and direction given to you by your HR department. I hope that's of help to you. Interesting question. And look, email Fire Rescue 1 with your questions. I'm very glad to help you figure those out, find solutions, or just give you my opinion. Thanks. Hey, send me your ideas, your thoughts, your problems, issues. I'll be glad to address them on here. I hope you find this of interest. Take care.